Get bigger and more expensive. Canty Foundation Specialist is the trusted expert for sinking foundations and settling concrete. Foundation problems don't get better over time.
They get better when you call my dad.
Thanks for watching News 12 on your side.
Parker's Kitchen is proud to partner with Wrdw Project to help empower veterans and their families. When you round up at Parker's, we'll make sure to match 25% of your donation to support local veterans.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 live at 5.
A warmer than average Easter weekend ahead.
But before we get there, you need to bundle those kiddos up again tomorrow as these below average mornings continue. Good evening and thanks for joining us here live at 5. I'm Wrdw.
And I'm Meredith Anderson. We'll get to the weather in just a moment, but our future problem solvers of tomorrow are being trained on a high-demand career field.
We're talking about STEM, otherwise known as science, technology, engineering, and math. And today, local students attended a camp jam-packed with activities that'll help them in their future endeavors.
Your Audrey Dickherber was there. She joins us live at 5 in our newsroom. Audrey, how is STEM Fest preparing the next generation of cyber professionals?
Well, it's a way to introduce kids to a field that needs more people, hoping to help the future workforce while also helping younger generations find a job they're passionate about. It's all through a camp where they participate in a variety of activities such as a virtual world, escape room, buildings, and more, hoping to show students what a career in STEM could look like, especially in cybersecurity. The Georgia Cyber Innovation and Training Center says the United States is in desperate need of technical talent in all STEM fields. And as our nation is slowly losing its global edge in technology, they say there is currently over 4,000 a ton of cybersecurity jobs across the country, but they're hoping to change that by showing younger generations what cybersecurity is all about.
And the way that we want to help shrink that workforce gap is we need to educate these students. We need to make sure that they know they can do it. It doesn't matter what the color of skin. It doesn't matter if they're male or female. They can do it, and we want to build confidence in these students and let them know that they're able to do this.
And coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we'll hear from students who attended the camp and hope to have a job in cybersecurity one day.
Thanks, Audrey. And their parents probably hoping they have a job in cybersecurity someday. The job pays well and comes with a lot of really good benefits, too.
Really important job moving forward. Thanks for that, Audrey. To weather now as we take a live look outside over SRP Park, and we'll check in with your first alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. Riley, expecting a cool down here, but a great afternoon for us here today.
Oh, it's beautiful out there today. We got plenty of sunshine.
All right, thank you, Riley. Tonight we have the answers to questions we know some of you have after hearing about that Georgia tax rebate. We first told you about it yesterday, but tonight we're on your side with when that money will wind up in your account or your mailbox and who can expect to get it. I did some homework for you today and reached out to the Department of Revenue. South Carolinians who pay taxes in Georgia, you qualify for the rebate too. I specifically ask if you do because I know a lot of you live across the state line but work in Georgia, so technically you do pay income taxes in Georgia. Now you have to meet the same qualifications as those who live in Georgia, and that's filing taxes in 2023 and 24, but you do just get a portion of the rebate, not the whole thing. And here's the question that everyone wants to know. When will I see the money? Well, the Department of Revenue tells me they expect to start issuing refunds in late May or early June.
Well, newly elected Georgia Representative Rob Clifton and former Representative Jody Lott paid a visit to Augusta today. The new and former Republican representatives were speakers at the Rotary Club's meeting. Representative Rob Clifton gave a recap of his first term in the House this legislative session. We asked him about the intensifying trade war that's impacting countries all across the globe. Is joining the fight against these revocations as well.
A month-long investigation at an Aiken massage parlor ends in arrest. Within just the last hour, the Aiken Department of Public Safety tells us 2 people were arrested at Golden Fingers Massage Parlor on Silver Bluff Road. Officials say the pair was booked 2 days ago after an investigation into numerous tips alleging the business was offering sexual services in exchange for payment. The 2 people arrested are charged with prostitution. We're working to learn more about this case, though, before we release the names of those arrested.
billing alert tonight for people who live in North Augusta. There will be no late fees or disconnections for city utility customers. That's until the city of North Augusta works out billing errors. You can expect your utility bill to be late for March 25th, April 10th, and 25 cycles, but they will be accurate.
A controversial program that gives South Carolina families taxpayer money to send their kids to private schools could soon be reinstated.
It comes just months after the South Carolina Supreme Court ruled an earlier version of that program was illegal. And as State House reporter Mary Green explains, this new iteration could look very similar to the one that was struck down.
Both the House and the Senate passed bills this year to reinstate South Carolina's K-12 Education Scholarship Trust Fund program, which you may also know as the School Voucher Program. But their plans were different, and for the last several weeks, leaders have been negotiating a compromise behind closed doors that they unveiled here Wednesday.
This, what I would call sort of the magic amendment. We reached a consensus on the key elements of the bill.
Last summer, the South Carolina Supreme Court struck down the previous voucher plan, which funded K-12 private school tuition using taxpayer money from the state's general fund. Republican lawmakers have since explored other funding options, including lottery revenues. Now they're proposing this new plan should be funded however the state legislature chooses from year to year, meaning lottery funds or the general fund. Again, which is what the court found to be unconstitutional last year. This time, they also plan to create a new trustee position to oversee the money and its distribution, which some Republican supporters believe could make it constitutional this time around.
In my view, this is an insurance policy. I don't know how significant the court will find that, the need for that, but by putting it in there, I think it's safer.
At full implementation, students would be eligible to receive a scholarship if their family's income is below 500% of the federal poverty level, about $160,000 for a family of four. Up to 15,000 scholarships worth $7,500 each would be available annually, but the General Assembly could choose to pay for more scholarships if it wants. In addition to private school tuition, this money could be spent on approved uses, including tutoring and transportation. Democrats have uniformly opposed this bill and asked for more time Wednesday to give the compromise consideration.
Allow the members of this body to at least read it, digest it, so that we can have legitimate debate on a major shift in policy, education policy for the state of South Carolina.
And ultimately, the Senate did agree to give everyone more time to think over the proposal. They now plan to take it up and vote on it in 2 weeks. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
Governor Henry McMaster is supportive of this push to reinstate the voucher plan and has called on the General Assembly to get it done this year.
Still ahead, wrong number scams could be more than just a mistake. Coming up, we're on your side with what to watch out for in a scam surge. Riley?
And it is going to be another cool start to our Thursday morning, but looking at temperatures getting well above average for our Easter weekend. Full forecast just after the break.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
This is not you.
Our First Alert commitment to you is the power of 5 meteorologists, all the tools, the latest technology, and the first team of 5 meteorologists. News 12's First Alert weather on your side. A big truck ruined your car and
Next week, but until then, looking great for any outdoor activities, and those temperatures going to be feeling more summer-like as we head into the weekend. You can see our morning temperatures are going to start to increase to near 60 heading into our Easter weekend, especially next week as well. And then we'll have to monitor those thunderstorm chances between Monday and Wednesday next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Riley. Fort Benning, located in Fort Moore, now bears the name of a World War I hero. A renaming ceremony honored U.S. Army Corporal Fred G. Benning and his fight on the front lines in France. The base has gone through several name changes. It was originally named after Confederate General Henry L. Benning. It was later renamed for Moore in 2023 to honor Lieutenant General Hal Moore and his wife Julia. Defense Secretary Hegseth says it's a move away from Confederate ties while honoring honoring the brave. Here at home, no word yet on whether Fort Eisenhower will do the same.
A heads up for drivers, there's a new traffic light in a busy part of North Augusta right off exit 1. It's in blink mode now, so it's not technically a working light yet, but North Augusta's planning director tells News 12 it will be operational in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, drivers have a chance to get used to it. The new light is because of new growth. It was part of the plan for the new Parker's Apartments on Martintown Road. The complex paid for it. Meanwhile, construction has started on the Hive, which is expected to bring 700 new homes to the area, as well as restaurants and businesses.
A busy area for sure there in North Augusta. North Augusta Department of Public Safety spending some time with the community this morning. Today, local officials there had coffee with a cop at Stone Roastery in North Augusta. It was the perfect time for citizens to hang out with some of the officers there. You can see Aiken County Sheriff Marty Sawyer in the mix there, and a barista at Stone Roastery says this is a major step in building trust with the citizens.
People look at law enforcement as kind of a separate entity, and they don't think about them as people. And when you see these people and you get to know them as who they are personally, it kind of opens your eyes and makes you realize they're not bad people. They're not out to get you. They're just doing their job.
And this is the first time North Augusta Department of Public Safety held coffee with a cop at Stone Roastery.
A wrong number text could be more than a mistake. It could be a trap. Next, we show you how scammers use fake friendliness to steal your info.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Life isn't a whisper. It's a roar. It's about getting your hands dirty, taking risks that thrill, and planning the adventure that awaits the next day. Life is a precious, playful thing, which means it's our job to explore it, to nurture it, and preserve it, but also to let loose and enjoy it. Riverbanks Zoo and Garden. Live a wild life.
I've weeded ever since I was
46 East Buena Vista Avenue in North Augusta.
Text message-based scams have surged, many starting with seemingly innocent messages meant for someone else. In this Watching Your Wallet, consumer investigator Carice Jackman shares tips from the AARP on how to identify and report these so-called wrong number scams.
You've probably received random texts saying things like, "Hello, what are you doing?" or even telling you about a so-called loan offer. Regardless of the message content, the intention is always the same. Scammers want to lure you into responding, eventually trying to obtain your personal information.
What I've noticed about these are they are rapidly increasing. Not a day goes by where I personally don't get one myself that says, "Hey, you coming for dinner tonight?" And you think, oh, it's just someone innocently, misdialed a phone number.
Amy Knopfziger with the AARP says this is a deliberate tactic scammers use to play on your natural curiosity and kindness.
So because we're nice humans, we write back and say, "Sorry, wrong number." And that's then when the conversation ensues and the person tries to build a friendship with you.
Many companies and organizations legitimately use text to contact clients and consumers. But if you don't recognize the phone number or sender, play it safe. Don't respond and delete the message. Also, never click on links from unknown senders and ignore random texts requesting personal, financial, or login information.
I think it's important for us to look at our phone hygiene and to make sure that we have our important contacts uploaded into our device. So when one of those comes through and it's not in our contacts, that's a red flag that this might be one of those scams.
With this Watching Your Wallet, I'm Carice Jackman.
And another tip, always block text messages from unknown senders and report them as spam to your phone provider if you can. Riley?
Well, heading into tomorrow, you will need that jacket early in the morning, but by the afternoon, we're going to be close to 80 degrees. Beautiful weather tomorrow. And look at that 7-day just after the break.
Don't wait.
Some moments are too perfect for words. A love so true. A night so magical. At Windsor Jewelers, we help you find the ring that tells your love story. A ring as timeless as your forever. Because when the moment is right, only the perfect ring will do. Windsor Jewelers, where forever begins.
there will be a breast cancer screening event from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. That'll be at Christ Community Health Center. Appointments are required, so you do want to make sure you call in advance. Now, this is for women ages 40 and up.
Something fun to do tomorrow. North Augusta is hosting Third Thursday, which is a block party to celebrate its new flower basket project. It'll be at the corner of West Avenue and West Pine Grove Avenue. The event goes from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. There will be food trucks, games, and live music. Riley?
Well, it looks great for that event tomorrow evening, and nice if you're heading out tonight. A live look from our Wheeler Road cam. This is between Wheeler Road and Bel Air, I-20. Looks like the westbound traffic is a little bit slow moving and some congestion there, but it is moving nonetheless. 73 degrees right now on our thermometer there at Bushfield, and luckily it's not quite as windy as what it was yesterday. Wind has been generally less than 10 miles an hour sustained most of the day, but we've seen an occasional gust up to around 15, and that's actually found right now here in Augusta, but most spots a lot calmer out there, and with clear skies and calm winds tonight, that is going to allow our temperatures to drop relatively quickly once we get past sunset. So going to be comfortable in the 70s if you're heading out for a dog walk over the next couple of hours. Once we get rid of the sun after sunset, those temperatures will be in the 60s by around 8, and then quickly dropping into the 50s by around 9, 10 o'clock later tonight. Now, moving forward in the forecast, tomorrow morning it is going to be chilly again. We'll most likely wake up in the mid-40s, but plenty of sunshine again heading into our Thursday, and it is going to remain a fairly calm day out there tomorrow. Not expecting that wind to be too much of an issue. Once we get to Friday, for our Good Friday, we are expecting high temps to be in the mid-80s, so getting back above average, and then we really start to crank up the heat heading into the weekend with those highs getting closer to 90. Dry through our Easter Sunday, but rain chances going up heading into next week.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We'll have more news and weather coming up after a short break as News 12 Live at 5 continues.
The weather, it's something that affects us all every day, from sunny to severe and anything in between. This is why we First Alert.
Trust Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for your First Alert.
Wounded Warrior Project is proud to partner again this year with Parker's Kitchen to help empower your community's post 9/11 veterans, heroes, and their families. Thank you, Parker's Kitchen, for your commitment.
You're watching News 12 Live at 5 continues.
A warmer than average Easter weekend ahead.
But before we get there, you need to bundle the kiddos up again tomorrow as these below average mornings continue. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Will Rio.
And I'm Meredith Anderson. We'll get to your Easter forecast in just a moment, but first, plans seem to be moving forward on a historic park in Augusta after nearly 2 years of grant money remaining untouched in accounts.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp announced $200 million in funding statewide for improvement projects. That was back in 2023. May Park was awarded over $2 million of those funds.
Your Sydney Hood joins us live at 5 at the park. Sydney, where does progress stand now?
Well, according to some of the neighbors I spoke to, before the days of cell phones and social media, May Park was the place to be. And some of these neighbors I spoke to say they want to see life back in this park. In fact, one neighbor I spoke to says growing up, May Park was full of families and children. And she wants to see the kids growing up in this neighborhood right now make some of the same memories that she made out here growing up. Now, talks of renovating May Park go back several years, and some neighbors, they are happy to hear the talk, but they are just waiting on the action.
It could be so much produced in this area. It could be educational, sports, all of that. I can see all of that happening right here. You know, helping them with future things with jobs and stuff. Computer training. We getting so advanced, so much changing. So I do see the opportunity right here for all of that.
Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, some neighbors have ideas for May Park, and they aren't giving up anytime soon.
A lot of people have been waiting a long time to see these improvements made. Thanks for staying on top of this, Sydney.
Now a live look outside at the Thurman Dam as we send things over to your First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hill. Riley, looking forward to a warm and nice Easter weekend ahead.
Oh yeah, well, we are getting spoiled out there across the area for the next couple of days, and luckily that nice
Breaking news live at 5. Within the last 30 minutes, we learned an Evans High School teacher is facing criminal charges. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office says Jeremy Gant was arrested Sunday on DUI charges.
The Columbia County School District says the incident happened off campus and outside of school hours. At last check, Gant was still employed with the school district and has not been placed on administrative leave.
And to clarify, those charges are DUI less safe, which means he was under the legal limit. Tonight, we have the answers to questions we know some of you have after hearing to clarify, those charges are DUI less safe, which means he was under the legal limit. Tonight, we have the answers to questions we know some of you have after hearing about that Georgia tax rebate. We first told you about it yesterday, but tonight we're on your side with when that money will wind up in your account or mailbox and who can expect to get it. I did some homework for you today and reached out to the Department of Revenue. South Carolinians who pay taxes in Georgia, you qualify for the rebate too. I specifically ask if you do because I know a lot of you live across the state line but work in Georgia, so you technically do pay some income taxes in Georgia. Now you have to meet the same qualifications as those who live in Georgia, and that's of course filing taxes in 2023 and 24. But you do just get a portion of the rebate, not the whole thing. And here's the question that everyone wants to know. When will I see the money? The Department of Revenue tells me they expect to start issuing refunds in late May or early June.
Newly elected Georgia Representative Rob Clifton and former Representative...
Live at 5, you still have time to make it out to the Beverly D. Clyburn Generations Park Master Plan meeting. It is happening right now. City leaders want to make improvements at the park with the input of those who live near it. That meeting is going on until 6:30 tonight, so another hour or so at the Generations Park Picnic Shelter. The next meeting is scheduled for next Tuesday at the same place, same time. If you can't make it, there is an online survey you can fill out with your feedback. We have it linked on our website, wrdw.com.
A billing alert tonight for people who live in North Augusta. There will be no late fees or disconnections for city utility customers. That's until the city of North Augusta works out billing errors. You can expect your utility bill to be late for March 25th, April 10th, and 25th cycles, but they will be accurate.
Concerns from descendants of some of the first slaves in Georgia making it all the way to Georgia's highest court.
Your Georgia State House reporter Abby Kasouris explains.
60 miles south of Savannah, you'll find Sapelo Island in the Hog Hama community, founded by freed slaves.
Man, we're here for our survival.
Dozens of descendants still live on the land, but they feel like forces are trying to force them out by rezoning the land they currently live on, allowing for larger homes and an increase in property taxes they worry they can't afford. They're challenging the county's ability to amend zoning.
All right, sorry for those technical difficulties. Looking ahead to tonight, we are looking at chilly temperatures again by tomorrow morning, but we are going to warm things up drastically heading into Easter weekend. More on that and some rain heading our way next week, just after the break.
Time and Temp, brought to you by your First Alert weather team.
Introducing the First Alert Radar Network.
With up to 10 times the resolution of other local radars and technology that can pinpoint right down to your street.
First just got faster.
What's with all the goats? GOAT. Georgia's outstanding attorney team?
After you've been injured in a car crash, call George Sink Injury Lawyers and get the GOAT on your side. Hurt? Call all nines now.
Got it!
Temperatures staying well above freezing and even above average through the weekend.
Concerns from descendants of some of the first slaves in Georgia making it all the way to Georgia's highest court.
Your Georgia State House reporter Abby Kasouris explains.
60 miles south of Savannah, you'll find Sapelo Island in the Hog Hama community, founded by freed slaves.
Man, we're here for our survival.
Dozens of descendants still live on the land, but they feel like forces are trying to force them out by rezoning the land they currently live on, allowing for larger homes and an increase in property taxes they worry they can't afford. They're challenging the county's ability to amend zoning requirements without a referendum vote.
We know what oppression and gentrification stands for. It stands for removal, displacement, disenfranchisement.
Philip Thompson, an attorney for those residents, asked the Georgia Supreme Court to declare that they have a constitutional right to a referendum referendum on zoning changes so they can defend a place that's a cultural and historic treasure. He argues the county is interpreting the law unfairly.
Accepting the county's position requires violating a number of interpretive principles.
While attorney for McIntosh County Ken Gerard argued that zoning powers are absolutely different from others granted to county governments by Georgia's Constitution and therefore are not subject to being challenged by referendum.
Thank you to counsel from both sides. Well and thoughtfully argued on both sides. We will get y'all a decision within the time required by the Georgia Constitution.
The Georgia Supreme Court expected to weigh in before the end of the year.
We know that our new neighbors have no care for us, and therefore, if you feel as an emotion our anger, our vengeance, and our upset, it's justified.
The Georgia Supreme Court is weighing in on the Sapelo Island case as residents are still recovering from tragedy. In October, 7 people were killed when a walkway collapsed at the state-operated ferry dock during the Hog Hummock Cultural Day Festival. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasouris.
Well, the North Augusta Department of Public Safety is spending some valuable time with the community this morning. Today, locals had coffee with a cop at Stone Roastery in North Augusta. It was the perfect time for citizens to hang out with some of those officers. You can see Aiken County Sheriff Marty Sawyer in the mix there. North Augusta Police Chief Junior Johnson says it's all about breaking the stigma around law enforcement in the community.
Breaks down the barriers that exist between the police and the community. The police are here to support the community, and anything that breaks that barrier down, we want to be there so that we're able to help them.
This is the first time North Augusta Department of Public Safety held coffee with a cop at Stone Roastery.
They say a messy desk is a sure sign of a busy person, but there comes a time when you want to clear out some of this clutter. I'm JB Tucker, coming up with a few gadgets to help you tidy up your workspace.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
Well, if you're doing some spring cleaning, don't forget about one of the messiest places that probably exists in your home. It's your home office.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take long for a workspace and desk to get cluttered with all sorts of things for work, and really not just at home, but your office
work
desk.
here. Yeah.
I know mine's a disaster. Getting it organized can be a chore. Our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker rounds up some gadgets to keep things tidy.
Some of the more brilliant people in history had messy desks. Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein. This was Steve Jobs' office at Apple. Now, if you're a genius like those guys, you can skip the next 90 seconds. But these gadgets can tidy up that messy space in your office. Make the wires go away. Replace a wired keyboard and mouse by going wireless. These are very affordable now and reduce at least 2 wires that are always in the way. Now, you can't eliminate all wires, but you can hide them. Wires for chargers, portable hard drives, and docking stations clip into these organizers to tuck them away when you're not using them. Wires under the desk can be organized too. Baskets like these clamp onto the back of the desk where you can stow away charging bricks and even an additional power strip. These outlet covers hide plugs and include a mini extension cable that can be mounted to trim work going from this to this. And there's no sense of keeping spare cables on the desk. These storage boxes are made just for USB and lightning charging cables. If you use portable hard drives and flash drives, you may need more inputs on the computer. These USB hubs can be mounted to the desk and with just one cable, connect everything to the computer. And if you have enough Post-it notes to be a fire hazard, these erasable whiteboards are a possible solution. And I love these mini notebooks from Rocketbook. Write it down, scan it with your phone. The Rocketbook app can automatically send it to Apple Notes, Google Drive, or email it to you. And when you're done, just wipe the page clean with a damp rag. These gadgets are very affordable and they do work. The challenge, of course, is keeping your workspace that way. That's What the Tech. I'm JB Tucker.
Well, coaching vacancies across the CSRA are filling up. Augusta Prep basketball officially comes off the board with their most recent hire, Alyssa.
Yeah, and they didn't have to do a whole lot of searching to find her. They just had to look at their second chair, turning to a familiar name here in the CSRA. Prep went with Kim Schlein to fill that vacancy, brought on by Sam Gruber's departure. Gruber was there for 4 years. Schlein retired from Cross Creek a year ago after 20 years with the back. She stepped in as the Cavs assistant basketball coach this season, where Prep went to their first Final Four since 2014. She becomes the first woman to lead a GIAA boys basketball program here in the CSRA.
Yeah, I was happy being second chair. I didn't have a problem being assistant, and
You know, like I said, that's why it took me a little bit to decide when it came up whether I wanted to do it or not. But, you know, I did enjoy helping out with the guys, and with the JV boys, I pretty much had, you know, did what I needed to do with them and had my way with it. So, you know, when this came up, I just decided to go with it.
Like she alluded to there, she does have some familiarity. She was the JV boys basketball head coach this season. She's also the head varsity track and field coach at Prep, wearing multiple hats.
Congratulations to Coach Schlein right there. Big opportunity for her. Hey, we are looking at chilly temperatures tomorrow morning, but they will be warming up heading into the weekend. By Easter morning, our low temp will only be 60 degrees. Now look at that 7-day for you just after a short break.
At Breaks for Less, you get more.
Welcome back, folks. A live look from our Beach Island camera. Have it zoomed in over downtown Augusta. You can see a little slither of the Savannah River. A beautiful afternoon to be outdoors. We do have temperatures right now in the mid-70s. A little bit of a wind just starting to pick up at Bushfield, but most of us have seen much calmer conditions than what we've seen over the past couple of days. Moving forward this week, we are looking at plenty of sun to stick around for your Thursday, Friday. A little bit of cloud cover will start to show up by Saturday, but you can see the warming trend we're going to be on. Upper 70s tomorrow, mid-80s by Friday, and then by Saturday we're close to 90 degrees, so definitely looking at temperatures be warming up for the rest of the week. Now if you're heading out tonight, we do have comfortable temps in the 70s through at least around 7 o'clock, and then as we head later into this evening, temperatures will be falling into the low 60s by around 9, and most likely seeing the 50s before midnight tonight, so I would take a jacket with you if you're going to be out past sunset out there later this evening. But as we head later into the weekend, we are going to keep those highs very warm for Easter Sunday, and then next week, storm chances finally start to increase by around Tuesday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
The weather, it's something that affects us all every day, from sunny to severe and anything in between. This is why we First Alert.
At Lionel Smith, find your new ride. Weinberger's Furniture is making room for the new during our re-merchandising sale.
New furniture, new mattresses, new rugs, and accessories, even a whole new department.
You have to see our latest styles and fresh new looks for every room in your home.
Enjoy discounts on all our furniture, including our new patio collection, just in time for spring.
Great styles, great savings, one incredible sale.
Can you save at Weinberger's re-merchandising sale? Yes, you can.
For the best in unique